So next up, I position the mic as a front of kit. I also raise the overheads up. So first I just want to listen to the overheads for a second here. You can hear they're higher up. They're picking up a lot more room ambience, but I actually think this is a pretty flattering representation of the kit. Let's check that tom out. That tom is a really lovely pickup. Now the K2 in the front of kit position sounds like this. I love this. You can really hear the front to back soundstage of the room. I think the low end is really beautifully represented. The balance of the kit is very natural sounding. This is as it was played. Very faithful to what it sounded like in the room. Of course, everybody's first question is going to be, what's it sound like when we compress it? So let's compress it, see what it does. This can be a good test for figuring out if a mic has any sort of hidden problems, we'll say, harshnesses, resonances, kind of oddball things like that that maybe don't present themselves in the flat recording, but as you start to process a little bit, certain nonlinearities rear their ugly head and give us terrible headaches. So I'm going to smash this thing up a little. Nothing weird happening there to my ear. Sounds like a more compressed version of what we were listening to a second ago. There's a little more detail, a little more punch, the kinds of things you'd expect from compression like this. Just checking out to see what a little distortion might do to it. It remains relatively even sounding. There's no obvious spiky, like ice pick, upper mid problems. And in context, let's check that out with the compression in context, with the overheads. Really fills out the kit nicely. Nice solid center, good soundstage again. The low end and the depth of field are at real strengths of this microphone. Without the compression, it flattens out a little bit, a little less detail and punch. But very natural sounding. I should mention that this front of kit example was recorded with the microphone in cardioid. I figured out pretty quickly that cardioid was my preferred polar pattern for this microphone, at least in any of the applications that I had, thus far been using it in, which are admittedly few. In fact, this is my first time recording voice with it. It's right here in making this video. I think that the range of tones that you get though by opening up the polar patterns is really attractive to me. I'm certainly planning on using this mic a lot in the future. I'm really impressed by it, and I see myself exploiting the change in tonality as you change the pickup patterns. Obviously, you're going to get more room interaction, more proximity and things, but the way that the upper mids really start to shape themselves over the course of directionality is really attractive, and I think a really powerful tool and a real strength of this microphone.